Right, we're at SEMA. What do you think you can hear? That's a rotary, that's a McLaren, it's the Mad Mike P1 drift car. All I can smell is race fuel. This is day one, setup day. It's a bit chaotic, but I'm going to show you some sneak previews of the show. Everyone's flocking to see it arrive. And there is the main man himself. Well, I've headed outside because it's very hectic in there. All the setup is going on, but we've still got some McLaren treats for you. Look at the long nose on that McLaren. It's a 720S, but a completely custom front end on that. And, of course, the American flag on a white Tesla Cybertruck. They are everywhere here. Oh, look, it's a panel car as well. That just makes sense. SEMA is such a big show that this year we've gone big as well. We came from LA to get here. There'll be plenty more content from our trips. Make sure you hit that bell when you subscribe to be notified for future videos. They're going to be uploaded in weird orders. I'm currently being catfished by a lineup of Corvettes because I'm trying to find a Viper. There was one here last year. I think there was more than one, but there's none here yet. This is the race car paddock. So you've got this Nissan GTR. I've seen a lot of eyes in the back of a GTR. This one's got a puppy dog on it. But this is one of my standout cars so far. It's a 993 Porsche 911, homage to the GT2 race cars. This one with an 800 horsepower twin turbo unit with the Mobile One livery is a stunner out here in the Vegas sun. I'm out here with Petrol Hedonism, EBC Brakes, Car Vertical has sponsored this video as well to see some of America's most insane, well no, the world's most insane builds, from lifted trucks to supercars, classics, retro, modified, EVs everywhere. This is going to be a week of the best car content I have ever filmed. Look, we've got Eleanor next to a Liberty Walk Gen 1 Lamborghini Gallardo. Another custom McLaren 720. This one named the Boring Concept. And the first ever Liberty Walk F8 Tributo that I have laid my eyes on. Of course, as you can probably predict, the Mark 5 Supra is everywhere at modified shows in the States and in the UK. They are one of the most popular Japanese sports car on the market today, and that is why it's vital to use this video's sponsor, Car Vertical, to do a history check when buying one, and you know it, I've got one ready to show you. So here is a 2022 example on the app, and you can see that it has been damaged. You can see all photos and evidence of the damage as part of this car's history. So let's say, for example, this car was rebuilt and then sold on. You could do a Car Vertical check by putting in its VIN or its number plate and seeing all of this history of the car. Fortunately, that's not this car. This is a good example. And with my discount code of AdamC, you can get 20% off your Car Vertical report yourself. So you can find any mileage discrepancies on a car. You can see accident damage reports. You can find out if it's got finance on it as well. It is the most essential thing to do when buying a car, whether it be a Supra or any one of these vehicles. Got the Miltech BMW M2 there on display at SEMA. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just think of the history of some of these cars. Going back to Car Vertical, like this might have been a working truck on someone's farm at some point in its life, and now it's been slammed on the largest wheels possible for something like this. They've had to create a wheel arch to go around it so that it can sit flush on the floor, on display. I doubt that crane gets used too often, but it looks like it could be an original piece for this car. So maybe they've retained that part of this car's history and then built around it. So go check out Car Vertical, link in the video description. My discount code of AdamC gets you 20% off your report. What have we got here then? We've got this Datsun estate car, we've got the turbo sticking out the bonnet, surfboard inside, very Hot Wheels in style there. Next to this 90s retro liveried Jeep. And of course, much like in the UK, Americans are obsessed with JDM. We've got this Toyota Celica sitting pretty as well. A green Mercedes G-Wagon 6x6 squared, which bombards the Liberty Walk section. I would love to know how many Liberty Walk Aventadors are out there. It's the car of choice for such a body kit, but next door we have another McLaren for the video. This 650S with what looks like a 675 LT front end, and then we go to a Porsche 997 wide body. Look at this, love the colour on the back of this, the brightest of reds, which leads me down to a C8 Corvette. They are all over the roads in this state as well, just as common as a Mustang. This particular one is pro-charged as well, so a lot of power, I'm guessing, I don't know, 800 plus, and some little baby Nike shoes on the dash. Nitrous oxide inside, that's what's inside his car, as well as a custom helmet. Look at the louvers, or the fins down into the back for aero for that pro-charger on top. There it is on display. They're not up at the moment. It's got Lambo doors on it as well. Now this Evo 6 was here last year. Do you notice anything different about it? Anything at all? No? The doors? It's a two-door Mitsubishi Evo. They've converted it into pretty much an Evo Coupe. There you go. A clue from the number plate at the back. Two-door Evo. It's just crazy what they do out here. Chevy Impalas. Pair of them next to each other. Lowrider scene. The sparkle in the roof. They're next door to the Dodge Charger, the Chevy C10, and a lineup of more lifted trucks. I suppose it's easier in this climate, but to keep this clean is such a mammoth task. And it's not just this car, it's the next one and the next one. Not just their exterior, not just their interior, but the internals underneath the cars are spotless. And look, because they're so tall, for them to tow anything, you have to get this extension bar mounted to the back so that the tow bar can be at a sensible point. It's got a casual Mercedes 300 SEL race car cruising by, 6.3 litre V8. I reckon that's a 6.2 litre V8 from a C63. And it's not just the modern trucks that get the lifted attention. Got old 50s Chevy as well in the air. And of course, hot rods, rat rods everywhere. This one, 400 cubic inch V8 twin turbo setup with the turbos in replacement for the headlights. And I believe this one to be all-wheel drive as well. That's why the drivetrain is out so wide at the front. Probably required to put all that power down. I'm gonna get out of the shade. There's a Revuelto. Now it's hard to see because of the shade once again, but you've got a color flip Lamborghini Revuelto, one of the more modified ones I've seen so far. They're starting to come out. So we've got the MV forged wheels on this. I cannot wait to see modified Revueltos everywhere. Liberty Walk, they're not actually going to make a Revuelto Roadster because it was never designed to be one. The roofline is too long for it to be stored anywhere in the car, and apparently they're not going to make a hardcore version of it either. They're going to bring in a new model, hopefully not electric, but it might be, not as a replacement but as an additional model, and they will end production of the Revuelto and probably the line of their V12 flagship. So this is a piece of history that you're looking at here at SEMA, the color flip Lamborghini Revuelto. Then we've got the cherry blossom Subaru from peach to teal. We've got the Ford Focus ST wide body with a roof box and a splash of color. Well, I said they like JDM. Got another Datsun here in front of a Tesla. They love a Tesla here too. I'm going to make a separate video about the EVs of SEMA. Now, if you see that pop up, don't skip it. Honestly, do not skip it. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I want you to watch it, but some of the EVs are the most exciting and interesting cars here. And I'm not only featuring EVs like a Tesla, there's going to be engine swapped Teslas, there's going to be engine swapped cars that have been EV swapped. It's such an interesting part of the car scene and vital to get behind for the longevity of the future, whether you're feel against it, whether you're for it. The EV market at this show requires a secondary video, so yeah, hit that bell when you subscribe so you're notified for that. On the flip side, that's just stunning. It's a Dodge Super Bee from the late 60s, one of the cleanest Super Bees I've ever seen. They're not the most common car on the scene compared to the Chargers, Plymouths and everything else, but just further down is a Honda-powered turbo GR86 and a full carbon 370Z wide body. And then this FD Mazda RX-7 is a demonstration as to why satin finishes are so gorgeous. I love a satin finish on a car. So satin white, you've got the white works wheels, a little duck lip spoiler on the back, you've got the roll cage inside, fire extinguisher, again colour coded. But we'll come back to this section in a bit because something's just caught my eye. It's behind the lifted Hummer, behind all of these lifted vehicles. It's near Big Deborah, America's #1 snack cake, apparently. What on earth did I see? Can it be? Oh, it looks like a Ferrari 550 GTS. But is it just me? Something I can't place my finger at. This car has stumped me. I absolutely adore it though, I can tell you that for free. Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's a 550 GTS race car. The front end just, I couldn't recognize it. That's incredible. What's that doing? This is an unusual section. Like, I don't even know what car this is. It's probably like an Acura TLX Type S. The bicycle and headlight delete. They've got like a golden finish on it, yellow tinted windscreen there as well. Got that Honda over there. Oh my goodness. Pontiac Le Mans next to it, King Cobra SS, massive wheels. Yeah, this is remarkable. Look at that. That's just a piece of artwork, absolute artwork there. And the carbon fibre bonnet and a Mitsubishi Evo wagon. This lineup sure is catching my attention. Just beyond the S2000 is a full carbon fibre Nissan 350 set. Oh my goodness. Look at the way the weave lines up, and then you've got forged carbon on the wing mirror. That is beautiful. Carbon spoiler on the back. Got the armadillo exhaust down there. Next door to a 400Z wide body. Again, chrome wheels. You've got the slammed Mustang. This is the latest generation of Mustang. They're not that old, but it's already been modified in such a stunning way. Then there's a BMW M8 and a Huracan STO, and yes, another Mark 5 Supra. Look at the way that the arches flow through the car. I can't even name this colour. It's a bit of grey, bit of purple and blue in it, with the blue wheels. And talking of monstrous rear ends, what is this? Like a Porsche 935? You can see the Porsche nestling inside there, just beyond those twin turbos on the rear. This is wild. So from the 550 GTS over there, you got the 935 K3 over here. That neighbour's a wide body Audi with a roof box, lovely. R32 GTR, these are so rare in the States. I know there's a few R34s inside the building. It's going under some construction for a new front end. And then we have the Mark IV Supra. Let's look at the fact file on this. Obviously still equipped with its 2J 3.4 litre stroker 2J. There's no power figures here that I can see. Then we have this next door. It's quite the showpiece, Skunkworks. That's next door to something I've been looking forward to seeing, a C3 Corvette. What's it called? The Corvette. Well. Not only does it have the monstrous power plant, but it's a sport wagon. It's the Corvette shooting brake. Oh no, the poor Miata Mark 1 MX5 with tracks on the rear and skis on the front. It's a Skidoo, but it's an MX5. That's the craziest MX5 I've ever seen. I wonder if it's still powered by its standard MX5 unit. I don't know. It's a pretty insane section, as you'll see as I cruise on down. Must must be the most amount of V8s in any kind of square meter area in the world at the moment. You've got a slammed Humvee with rear wheel steering and even a bit of a build underneath that rear end. We then go on to this Jeep postal van. This was a working postal van for 30 years or so, I don't know how long, and then they saved it by shoving a V8 inside. Twin turbos too. Oh, more rivals coming through. Even the truck's a showpiece. Well, it would be in the UK. Look at the doggy dogs! And then you got the golden Mustang on the back. Got a few more supercars on display, including the Lamborghini Aventador, and the car being fully prepped for the show is this 300 SL. It is a recreation of the legendary 300 SL based on the Mercedes SLK 55 AMG. Here is a special car. Now, whilst I was in LA a few days ago, I saw the original Back to the Future DeLorean in a private storage area. I wasn't able to take pictures or anything, but that was fun. This car, last year, my friend Sam from the Hard Up Garage got married in Vegas in this car, and then I had a ride in it to the post-marriage ceremony, and here it is at SEMA. This is wild, absolutely wild. Look, it's slammed as well. This truck is a show truck. Unbelievable. Even the trailer has the same pattern. You could live in there. Here's the chassis of I don't know, an F350. It's got V8 up front. Sometimes when you have a bit too much of the same thing, it becomes a bit less special and you forget how special it is. The amount of these here, it's unreal. There's a 370Z drift car, and I've seen this, I think, at Goodwood before. Porsche Cayenne off-roader in the pink pig livery. I was wearing my pink pig t-shirt yesterday, unfortunately. And then kind of parked out of the way a little bit in its own little space, the tiny little Datsun 1600 Roadster. But you've got exposed suspension in the back, custom interior on that. That is a beautiful piece of machinery. Large exhaust suggesting that maybe it doesn't have a 1600 anymore. Oh, this is nice. RWB section. It's not... There's a 997 that looks like, I think they're going to do an RWB conversion. So you're going to have to wait for my next few videos to see what this looks like when they finish at the end of the show. We've got the 964 and 993 RWB cars overlooking the stage, and yes, another 964 over here. Now, I did say that I'd go back to that shaded area. We're going to head there, past some Aussie muscle, which is rare to see in the States when they've got so much muscle in their own country. Look, this is a homage to the Plymouth Barracuda. There's quite a few of these on display. So it's a Dodge Challenger that's been customized to resemble that. Next door to the GMC, more modern V8 up front. Massive Garrett there. So what have we got over here? This is a Renault, I can't pronounce this, I think it's a Dauphine. This one's powered by VR6 units. We've then got the camo green Toyota Supra, and yes, I realise it's more than just that. You've got the semi-slicks, wide body, amazing, called La Brute. Anyway, yes, camo green Toyota Supra, but I said earlier that Mark 1 MX5 with the skidoos was the craziest one I've ever seen. Well, this is one of the highlights of this year. Mark 1 MX5 Miata. Twin turbos in replacement for where the pop-up headlights would have been, and a Lamborghini V10. Could we call this a Dodge Viper? People often compare Vipers to MX5, specifically the Mark II, because they look visually similar. This is a front-engined V10 sports car MX5, so yeah, it's got the V10, it's got twin turbos. This is one of the stars so far. I could not believe this when I saw it posted online, came around the corner to view it. It's wrapped in baby blue, carbon fibre spoiler on the back, very large wheels, grippy tyres, ready for all that power. Don't know how much power it makes. There's not much information about this car online yet, so it's all open to speculation. And it's got a loud horn, although I think that came from behind me. Oh my goodness, I think that must be my favourite so far. Must be. Right, we're going to try and top that back into the shaded area. We are absolutely trying to top it. Oh, supercharged, not too bad. Got some Jeep, Camaro, the buggy, a Chevy 3100, Porsche 991, GT3 track car. You got the modified Hyundai Subaru as well, four-door, the Porsche 997. Supra, of course, big power Supra because one of his headlights is missing. There's the Porsche Cayman, there's a Mark 5 Supra there, and then this Tesla, which will be a feature in my EV video, so you're going to have to wait to see why I'm featuring it. It's something about this panel here, and maybe what's underneath it. So yes, Mark 5 Supra, another lifted Cayenne. Sorry if I don't seem my normal self, this is just blowing me away. It's not my natural habitat, America. I feel a bit out of place here, but the cars make up for it. There's a convertible, well, it's not convertible because you can't convert it, but there's a open top fire engine. I would love to cruise down the highway in that. That would just be fantastic. Imagine that. Just cruising along, put your little lights on, having a blast. What else is in front of it? Full carbon C8 Corvette. Obviously carbon fibre doesn't have a colour in it, so yeah, it's basically like a dark grey. You've got the gold to add a bit of colour to it, tan interior as well, but the C8 next to it is also full carbon with a bit of a purple hue. They've tinted the carbon, but not so much that you can't see the weave. I don't know if it's like a midnight purple, like a colour flip effect, but yeah, I think there's, I don't know if the green maybe is the Supra reflecting off it, but that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that is definitely colour flip. We're kind of reaching the end of the outside section, so I'm going to head inside. I won't show you too much because there's too much to show you. I like that line. But we'll go to the petrol hedonism stand, show you what they've brought, and a few other highlights in there just for this setup day. But as I said earlier, I don't want to get in the way of people setting up because obviously you've still got cars undercovers that haven't been unveiled, and this video has gone live before some of the unveilings, so obviously I don't want to annoy people. But this whole outside section is a bit more accessible today, whereas setup day is for exhibitors only, and thanks to EBC Brakes I am an exhibitor, but I just need to find how to get in. Well, I got in, and there's more RWB builds with nitrous, matte purple. As you can see, it's a bit chaotic in here because the show opens tomorrow as I film it. Got rolls of carpet, people working, people still talking about their builds, and a monster truck. This is our hall. This is where we'll be spending most of our time. We've got Castrol livery GR86, and for some reason a Tom Petty Toyota Supra. Got the R33 GTR RB26 on show, and we have Factory 5 Racing with their Cobras. This one's got a body that's been cut in half. 8. Now I bet this is 98. My car's 88, but most of them, yes, most of them are 98. You got their Daytona Coupe and beautiful hot rod, again built by Factory 5 Racing, similar chassis to what they use for their 427 Cobras. Look at the Steelies on a Cobra, and a Daytona Coupe drag car, I'm only presuming because it's got a parachute at the back. Another Mark 4 Supra. We got what looks like a homage to the 288 GTR, I think maybe it's a 308. Oh my god. Lamborghini Murcielago, inspired by a Reventon, and well, it's not the most finesse I've seen before. It's like a Mad Max car, this. A butcher's Murcielago. I think maybe in some need of restoration, but I love seeing inventive ways to change the look of cars in such a way. Look, even got extended fenders there, arches, wings on the front end. And it seems the MX5 is not the only skidoo on display. This morning in my head I was thinking various thoughts. I was thinking about my EV video I'm making that will be coming soon. I was thinking, I wonder if anyone's going to chop the roof of a Tesla. Happens. And this 90s piece of artwork is a diesel-swapped C4 Corvette. But we have now arrived at the EBC Brakes stand, and one of the reasons that we're all here, the Petrol Hedonism Club has come together to present Chiro's Fiat 500 Resto mod. Oh, it's bringing neons back. So you got two-spoke wheels, we've got paintwork inspired by the lowrider scene, the most sparkle I've seen all day. A collaboration between Petrol Hedonism and the Dip Monkey Garage for SEMA 2024. Equipped with a bike engine, I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction that everyone has when they see this car this week at SEMA. But I think for this video, that was pretty much that. There's so much more to see. I haven't even gone down the Toyota's tread pass. That always houses the best cars of the show. So I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek, an inside look at SEMA this year on setup day. I've seen some Cobras. Haven't seen a Viper yet. I did when we first landed in LA, but not here. And I've seen some MGBs. They will feature in upcoming videos as well. For now, I think I'll leave the show to set up. So huge thanks to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video, Petrol Hedonism and EBC Brakes for bringing me along. I'll see you next time looking at some electric cars.